Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outhouse podcast. Now, as you can see, my co-host, Teddy Kosick, is not here. It's okay. He's still part of the show. He's still alive. We just discussed off camera that moving forward, seeing that our schedules are going to start getting a lot more hectic with the holiday season, he's out there, just working his butt off at Ubisoft, making sure those games are, in your hands. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to find time to record these together. So there may be some episodes where I will solo host, and there may be some where he'll be right next to me. All right. So we're still going to, let the good times roll here at the Outhouse podcast. This is going to be episode 8. And again, I'm Avery Fair. So as you can see by what I'm wearing, let's start things off with Spider-Man being back in the MCU. It's a great time to be alive. As last month, Sony and Disney decided, hey, things aren't really working on the financial side. They couldn't come to an agreement, and everyone kind of died inside a little bit after Spider-Man was announced that he was going to head back over to Sony. Fast forward to just a couple days ago, and the news broke early in the morning that Spider-Man is in fact returning to the MCU. Sony and Disney hammered out a deal. Let's just go over the details real quick from Anthony D. Alessandro from Deadline. So Disney will finance 25% of Spider-Man 3. So in return, they will get 25% equity stake in the movie. Previously, Disney had gotten 5% of the first dollar gross before. So that's an increase for Disney on the profit side of things. Spider-Man, in addition to Spider-Man 3, the character will also appear in a future Marvel Studios film, probably some sort of Avengers movie. And so we'll see if that will... Again, we'll probably just go through the same process that we went through before, where we'll kind of sweat it out to see if Sony and Disney are going to keep the character in there or if Sony is going to take him back. But one interesting wrinkle to this deal is that Kevin Feige, the head honcho over at Marvel, he said, quote, "Spider-Man is a powerful icon and hero whose story crosses all ages around the globe. He also happens to be the only hero with the superpower to cross cinematic universes, so as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises that future might hold." So, to me, obviously this kind of means that Spider-Man and or other characters associated with him may be jumping back and forth. I don't think that he will make an appearance in Venom 2, seeing as that's, I believe, scheduled to come out in 2020, because Spider-Man 3 is slotting in at July 16th of 2021. So I think they want to, at the very least, finish his initial arc with the cliffhanger that happened at the end of Far From Home with J. Jonah Jameson, just cat's out of the bag, Peter Parker Spider-Man, so he's kind of screwed right now. I think they want to kind of finish that up at the very least, and then seeing what happens at the end of Venom 2 with Venom and Carnage, then we may see Tom Holland interact with Tom Hardy. So, a lot of interesting things happening with Spider-Man. One thing that we could see in Spider-Man 3 is with Peter Parker in desperate need to try and fight off this new issue that he has now with everyone knowing his secret identity, he may be looking for a lawyer. Couple lawyers, we got Jennifer Walters, otherwise She-Hulk, and Matt Murdock, otherwise Daredevil. Now, I think it could be a good bet that we see Walters in it, as Marvel has already announced that She-Hulk will be getting a Disney Plus show. The pipe dream may be with Matt Murdock, knowing that Netflix canceled Daredevil in November 2018, and there was a clause in the original deal that Disney and Marvel could not use any of the Netflix Marvel characters for 2 years after the cancellation. Now, 2 years will put you at November 2020. Is it possible that they could introduce Daredevil in the filming of Spider-Man 3 before it comes out the following July? I don't know. It might be a little bit too close to call, but it's a possibility. You never know. Other news that's dealing with Kevin Feige is that he is going to develop a Star Wars film. So that's really cool, just knowing the resume that Feige has with Marvel and what he's been able to do in creating this cinematic universe. And so knowing that he is going to partner with who knows which director, I mean, he's been doing great jobs with Marvel thus far. It's exciting to have the idea that not only will he be being hands-on with that property, but who knows if Star Wars gets that sort of cinematic light universe type deal going on, because you do have The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. You're going to have, after episode 9 concludes in December, there's going to be a void for, some Star Wars content. And yes, we'll get The Mandalorian later this year. There's a lot of room that we can explore with the Star Wars universe. So that's very interesting to hear. And I assume that, hey, he's not too busy for Spider-Man, right? Or for Star Wars or any of the Marvel and Star Wars properties. So that'll be interesting moving forward to see what happens. This is the first time, obviously, doing this by myself, and I don't realize how much talking there is involved. So I need to take a quick drink of water. Now, moving forward. I did want to say this before. Back to Spider-Man. So, another possible idea, theory with the concept of him jumping back and forth between the Spider-Verses, or between Sony and Disney, is that, with Into the Spider-Verse happening, they already introduced the concept of all the different Spider people, right? So they could, what if they took the idea with the comic The Spider-Verse, where you have Marlon and his family of, spider-eating people, and they're going to each of these universes, like in the comics, trying to eat and kill, all the Spider-Men. I don't know, that's just another thought, just the idea of Tom Holland now being able to jump all around. That just makes it a little bit more tangible. Now, that does wrap up the major news. Let's go to the rapid roundup. Joker's finally releasing October 4th, this Friday as of today. So I'm literally looking forward to that. I'll probably catch it this weekend. There's been obviously a lot of talk surrounding the film and the heightened violence and hysteria that comes with that character. And, when you couple that with the tragic event that happened, in Aurora, obviously people want to take precautions going to the theaters. I would just say, be safe out there if you do see the movie. I did finish Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 recently, so that was pretty cool. I love that game. It was just really good just to sit back and just beat shit up with. My final team was Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Iron Man, and Thor. They're pretty OP near the end. Now, I believe just today, on September 30th, they did release the new DLC for it. This is from Kotaku, Mike Fahey, said today's massive update to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 adds the first 4 paid downloadable characters to the game, but it's not just that. The free update that accompanies the Curse of the Vampire expansion also adds a new game mode, ups the level cap to 150, and gives players the ability to spend in-game cash on experience points. The 4 players that they added was Morbius, the Punisher, Moon Knight, and Blade. So obviously, I think that's really badass. And I believe I talked to Teddy about this, is that he plans on picking it up probably around Black Friday. Hopefully it's on sale. And if that's the case, that'll give me an excuse to try out these characters or try any other ones to try and level them up. Because that was kind of the one thing I didn't really like about the game, was that if you stuck with a core 4 for the majority part of the game, then you're pretty much screwed when it comes to trying to level up other characters that you may want. So early on, it was kind of unfortunate. Later I was thinking, damn, I wish I could play as Cap and, throw his shield around, or play as the Hulk instead. But unfortunately, you're pretty much fucked unless you just go back and just manually try and grind it out. Other than that, we did finish Gears of War 5. However, I'm going to wait until Teddy comes back on the show so that he can give his thoughts about that. Just real quick, I thought it was a fine game. It was a good campaign. I might try the multiplayer a little bit. I need something to hold me over until Call of Duty on the 25th. But no, it was fine. There was one thing I really didn't like about it, where so he played as Kate and I was Dell, and there was the moments where she would have the visions and he would only see it on his screen. I couldn't see it. I get it. I'm a different character, but it kind of sucks that he was able to see parts of the story that I didn't see. But I guess, I don't know if you're able to be both Kate. If you are, then that's kind of weird. But alright guys, I mean, that just about does it. I guess these things are a lot more shorter when you're here by yourself. So, I think this was a pretty good one, It was basically a trial run, see how things went. Hopefully nothing was wrong or sounded wrong. Obviously, if it did, I just won't post it then. But alright guys, that just about does it. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment. You can find me at Twitter at coffeeblock_910. My website's coffeescorner.com. I want to try and get back my stream up, see how that goes. You can find Teddy Ralph 812. And other than that, catch you later.